Elon Musk said the future won't have better phones because it won't have phones at all. And would you believe that Apple, the biggest phone company, is already acting on this? And this is the movement, what is building, what comes after AI, what is better than AI, what is the advancement after AI? Sit down, let's talk about this. You're gonna wanna know about this. Apple has always been the company that is leading the future when it comes to technology. From the Macintosh, the iPod, to the iPhone, and it doesn't want to lose that title. I mean, look at the strictness Steve Jobs had just to maintain it. And now with everything that's happening with artificial intelligence, look at how fast it's advancing. It's taking every bit of technology up with it. Let me tell you a story about this situation. There were once two phone brands which combined were 22,400% bigger than Apple. Even my mother used to use these phones. They were the pinnacle of technology. But then in 2007, Apple innovated the market with the touchscreen iPhone. Brands like Samsung saw the new shift in the market and they adapted with it. But these two brands didn't. Now, one is forgotten, one is a joke. These companies are BlackBerry and Nokia. Apple doesn't want to be the next Nokia. And if Apple does not move with the movement OpenAI has started of artificial intelligence, it is going to be the next Nokia. But Apple isn't just some flimsy kid who's going to be bullied around and just going to flow with the tide. No, Apple has its own vision, its own ego. It's not going to confine to AI. No. Apple is working on something much, much bigger. Apple is working on what comes after AI, and they're gonna have to let go of their dearest partner, the iPhone, which is taking them from just an experimental hardware company to being the biggest tech company in history. But Apple has already tried getting into this. You remember the Vision Pros, don't you? They were a massive flop. I mean, not many people can afford a $3,500 piece of technology. That's honestly just a gimmick. And on top of that, the Vision Pros, they were very heavy, wearing them on your head the whole day. No. I mean, just try doing this for the whole day and flexing. You're gonna get tired. So imagine wearing weights on your head. Now, Apple was technically working on a lighter version, the Vision Air, but they dropped it completely and they put their eyes onto the bigger target. Now, what is that bigger target? Let me tell you. That bigger target, remember how Steve Jobs made the iPhone his limelight product? Tim Cook, the CEO who came after Steve Jobs, made this his limelight product. These are the Apple Smart Glasses. But there's a very big, obvious, huge problem with these. And one Apple engineer said it so perfectly. He said, a car running a marathon while sipping fuel like a bicycle. The glasses needed an iPhone level processor whilst consuming 1/10 of the energy. And mind you, they can't heat up because they're going to be next to a human's face the whole day. Would you put a burning hot piece of metal next to your face all day? No. And Apple can't risk that. So the iPhone's processor was out of the question. It used too much energy and it heated up too much. So they took the processor out of the S Watch series and they further cut all the fluff out of that tiny processor. They create these smart glasses to have two cameras, one for photo and video and the other for spatial awareness, just like the Vision Pro. But the Vision Pro was like a brick on your head. This is tricky. It's like trying to fit an elephant through a needle. So they thought of a very genius idea. Listen, the glasses don't do the hard work. The glasses are connected to the user's phone via Bluetooth, and all the heavy work is sent to the phone and done on the phone, like some teamwork action shit. Now, me and you know this is very clever, but we also know that people are going to be so naggy. Like, I just can't get it. Those fat critics are going to nag and complain about this. But people will still gravitate towards it because one very high selling point of this, they're not 3,500. They're just starting at 500, 700% less than the Vision Pros. Is that not crazy. Also, let me hit you with a fact. In 2025, Meta's smart glasses sold more than their VR headsets. Is that not a sign that this is what people will gravitate towards? On one end, you have to hold a phone in your hand the whole day. On the other end, you just have it here and it's in front of you, it's floating, everything. Your whole ecosystem is just floating in front of you. If it works out, of course everyone will gravitate towards it. But that's the problem, if it works out. But as always, this is all just news. People like us who don't own multi-trillion-dollar companies, there's very different lessons we can take from this. What it means to us is something I discussed with my grandfather a lot. Don't try to chase the future too much and get caught up in the future and the latest stuff because it's always running from you. Find peace and find your desires in timeless classics because the past, it never runs from you. It stays in one place. And secondly, this is very, very important. Listen, if you're trying to get into artificial intelligence because you think it's the future, don't. It was the future back in 2015, 2016. That was your shining light to get into this. Now it's too late. Now might be the time to get into artificial reality if you have hundreds of millions, at least tens of millions to just play with. What I want to say is, don't try to get to the top of the wave if you don't even have a board to surf on. When you have nothing in your hands, why would you try to go against the grail? Work with the way the world is working or the way it will be working. Don't try to pave or curate the future when you're not even in a place to, be the king of the present. Look at how the world's working, flow with it in a manner that suits you. Then once you're in a financial, mental, spiritual, physical position that you can push against the grail, then try to curate or pave the future. And if you want your business to flow with the grail of the modern AI-filled world, then read the top 6 lines I wrote for you in the video description. Watch this video next. Subscribe. Love you very, very much. We'll talk next Saturday. Thank you. Goodbye.